it's going to be another day in the mid-90s. So it's going to get really, really hot really soon. I am out here early because I have this space right now where I had my garlic growing. I harvested a couple of days ago, but now it's ready for me to plant a bunch of the things that I have. And what I'm going to do is that I am going to remove this irrigation so that I can mix in some compost that I have, just regular mushroom compost that I got at my local nurseries. And I'm going to show you the plants that I'm going to go in here as well. But also I'm going to show you how I fertilize the plants that I have grown in my Greenstalk with some liquid fertilizer. So I have quite a few plants here that are going to be going in this bed, and I do hope that I have plenty of space for all of them. Yes, I am rooting some tomato plants in wine glasses. That's just kind of how I roll around here, and some of them even in containers where they have no business being in, but you know, sometimes you just do what you have to do. Some of these tomato plants that I have rooting here, look at that root system. But also look at the plants. I have tomatoes growing in them already. So I have 4 of these tomatoes that I have rooted, and these are cuttings. These are the suckers that I removed from my existing plants, and you can tell that I have lots of good amount of roots there. So I'm hopeful that these guys are going to be okay. I also have lemongrass. I have some mini bell peppers. These are sweet peppers. I have more shishito plants, shishito peppers. I have a bunch of German thyme. I don't have any thyme planted in my garden yet. I don't know why. Just kind of skip that part. I have some of this Thai basil. This one is going to be new for me. It's almost wanting to go to flower already, so I'm going to be removing a bunch of these flowers. And apparently I have another tomato plant here that I forgot about. This one is Cherokee Carbon. This one is a mix. This one is a hybrid tomato. This one is a mix of Cherokee Purple and Carbon, which I like them both. It's a hybrid tomato, so I won't be able to say seeds if I wanted to. And I do have a couple of these zinnias already here. The reason why I got these zinnias instead of direct sowing is because, well, we're already towards the end of June, but also I have 3 plants here. 3 plants that I'm going to divide when I planted them. So instead of having just a big chunk of these guys, I'm going to divide them so they, you know, I get more plants. So for $6.48, I have 3 good size zinnia plants, and I'm okay with that. And I also started some of these red torch sunflowers. I think these guys get big. I am going to start placing all of the plants that I have there in the raised bed, and if I think that I need a couple of more plants, I am going to put these guys on the side. I know that these guys can get huge, so making sure that I have space for like a huge support is going to be helpful. They look so pretty already. These are the zinnias that I got from the store, and I have 3 good size plants here. So without any fears, I'm just going to divide them. They'll be fine. They'll be fine. So now instead of having just 1 plant here, I have 3. Then I am going to place these guys here and there. And I am going to do the same thing for these guys here. There you go. 3 plants. Everything is placed where I want them. I may move them here a little bit, here and there, as I am planting, but pretty much this is how they're going to stay for the rest of the season. It's a little bit late. It's kind of like towards the end of June. And one of the questions that I get sometimes is, how late can I still plant things like peppers and tomatoes and all of those things? And my answer will be just try it, push your limits. Test it, take notes, and see how the plants do. I don't think that I have ever planted things this late. I also didn't grow garlic before, so that I had this, empty space before. Right here in the very front of the bed, I left empty because I am going to direct sow some green beans. I have some red swan green beans that I think I am going to plant, and hopefully they'll still give me a good amount of green beans. And because why not, right there in the very corner behind the lemongrass, I am going to plant my red torch sunflowers. And if they happen to get huge, I have that pole, that black trellis, where I can just attach them if needed. And I am going to repeat the same thing on the other corner. All right, all of the plants are planted. They are nice and deep. Most of them have tags. If you're wondering about where I got the tags, I get those from Greenstalk. They're amazing, and I think that I really like to use them in my garden. The green beans, red swan, have been direct sow. I made a few lines. I went heavily because I am not sure with the heat and this being really exposed, I am not sure how well of germination I will have, but if I do have great germination, I will just thin them out. Everything else, fingers crossed that they all love it here. And the next step is for me to give them a nice drink of water. Everything here is going to need water, especially today, high of 94, I believe. And that little mountain of mulch, those are pine needle mulch that I used last year actually to cover my garlic. But I remove it before harvesting the garlic, and I am going to reuse it here. And hopefully we'll get some nice harvest from all of these plants this season. It is so hot outside, so hot. So I am done planting that bed. That bed is good to go. I do have to get a couple more tags. I am thinking about adding one more lane of the brown tubing, the 1/4 inch tubing, but I don't know, I'll think about that. I want to show you what I'm using to fertilize my Greenstalks. I get this question a lot, especially when I show my Greenstalks, and on Instagram as well. By the way, if you're not a follower on Instagram, I'm gonna leave the link below. Just search Soil and Margaritas and you can find me there. I do post a lot of things there first, just because I can just really use my phone. So if you want to follow me there, I'm going to leave the link below. These two are pretty much the two things that I use to fertilize my Greenstalk. I use fertilizer whenever I put my plants in the Greenstalk. I use a powder slow release fertilizer, which could be this Dr. Earth. You have seen me use this all the time. Or it could be Spoma, the veggie tone stuff. Whichever I can find locally at the store that I'm at, if I'm thinking about getting fertilizer, whichever I find first, and honestly most of the time is whatever I can find the cheapest, it works. I find that those two are amazing in my opinion. So when I first plant my Greenstalk, that's what I'm going to use. But also about a month and a half later, which is right about now, especially for my salsa theme Greenstalk, I am going to use some liquid fertilizer. And I like these guys, and I like it because it's not too strong. This guy right here is only a 131, which I like because if I use a lot of it, if I go a little bit over the limit that I am supposed to be using, that I know it's not going to hurt the plants. But also I like to use one of these. And when it comes to fertilizer, especially on a, on a routine, I am the worst. So whichever my plants can get really once a month maybe, I'm good. I'm good. So let me show you how I'm going to use, in this case, this will be the first liquid, this will be the first liquid fertilizer that I use. You can't even see the plants that are growing here. Everything is so thick, everything is so lush and green. I have a lot of things happening here in this Greenstalk. So for the purpose of this video, I am going to show you on this semi-empty Greenstalk that I have here, because my salsa thing one is really thick with plants and everything. Is going to be almost impossible to film that. I am going to add a little bit of water. I am going to start filling this like a regular watering, and then I'm going to add the fertilizer. And that is really how simple it is to fertilize my Greenstalks. I choose something that is not too strong, like I said, because if I kind of go over the amount recommended for use of fertilizer, I'm okay. Let me show that to you one more time. That's it for this video, you guys. I hope that you enjoy it, and if you have any questions, just let me know in the comments. I will see you the next time.